previous lecture. Now today's topics are capacitance of three-phase asymmetrical lines, as well as we also discuss about the capacitance of double circuit lines. Right. At the end of this lecture, you can derive the expression of capacitance for three-phase lines with asymmetrical spacing, and you can derive the expression of capacitance for double circuit transmission lines also. Okay. Right, capacitance of three-phase line with the unsymmetrical spacing, or you can say that asymmetrical spacing or unsymmetrical spacing, both are the same. That here we are considering a three-phase transmission line, so which are having three conductors A, B, C. So these three conductors are placed in such a way that there should not be any equal distance between any two conductors. So that is, if you consider the distance between any two conductors, that distance is always different. So those are not same. If the distances of any two conductors are not same, so then we can say that the conductors are at unsymmetrical spacing or asymmetrical spacing. So now here the distance between AB is represented with D12, and the distance between BC is represented with D23, and the distance between C and A conductor is represented with D31. Okay. So now in case of inductance, we transpose the asymmetrical line. In a similar way, in capacitance calculation also, we will transpose the lines. Right? When you transpose the three-phase line, so now the transposition cycle will be like this. Okay, this is the one complete transposition cycle. Okay, so now this transposition cycle will be divided into three sections: section 1, section 2, and section 3. Okay, here you are having three positions of the conductors. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You are having three positions of the conductors, right? So what is meant by transposition is, so the every conductor in a three-phase system will occupy the each and every position of the all other conductors in a complete transposition cycle. Suppose if you take in the first section, now in the first section, conductor A is in first position. So the numbers are, these are the position 1, 2, 3 are the positions of the conductors. Okay. So in the section 1, your conductor A is in first position, and conductor B is in second position, and conductor C is in third position. In a similar way, when you observe the conductors in section 2, then your conductor A is coming to the second position. Okay. And in section number 3, it is coming under the third position. So that means conductor A is taking all the three positions, so in a one complete transposition cycle. Okay. In a similar manner, conductor B also will take all the positions in a complete cycle. Right. If we initially in first section, it is in second position, so then it is going to the third position in section 2, and then it is going to the first position in section 3. In the similar way, conductor C also first in third position. So then in the second section, it is going to the first position. Then it is going to the second position. Right. So this is called the transposition cycle. In transposition cycle, each and every conductor will occupy the all other conductor positions in one complete transposition cycle. Okay. Now, so these three conductors, let us assume that they are carrying the balanced system of currents. Then in such a case, you can say that sum of the charges of all the conductors will be equal to 0. Right? The assumptions made here also will be the same for the previous slide. The conductors are always away from the ground. The effect of ground will be neglected here. So you have to consider that all the three-phase conductors will be ground. Right. For a balanced system, QA plus QB plus QC is equal to 0. Now for this system, you derive the capacitance expression. Right. So we know the general equation to determine the potential difference, which is potential difference in a group of conductors. Right. That derivation we have done already. So that general case will be taken here again. So voltage between the two conductors K and I in a group of conductors is expressed with 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught sigma m is equal to 1 to n qm ln dim by dkm volts. Potential difference is expressed in volts. So this is the general formula what I used every time, okay, to derive the capacitance for any transmission line. Okay, this is the potential difference expression. You have to remember. It is very, very important one. Right. From this same general equation, you have to develop the capacitance for three-phase asymmetrical lines also. Right. So now here you have to consider, you have to first develop the potential difference between the phases A and B in first section. Okay. So in the first section, so here one transposition cycle is nothing but it is having 3 equal number of sections. Okay, total length of the transmission line is divided into 3 equal lengths. So L by 3, L by 3, L by 3. So first section, if you consider what is the potential difference between A and B. So now second, again you have to consider the second section. Then again you have to calculate the what is the potential difference between A and B. So again you have to consider the third section. Then again find the potential difference between conductors A and B again, right? Here the total number of conductors in any sections is 3 only, right? The conductors are represented with A, B, C, okay? Right, here in the equation M, summation term, M is equal to 1 to N. So this represents the capital A represents total number of conductors. Here the number of conductors are 3, right? So 1 to 3 you can represent, but our representation is given as A, B, C, A, B, C. So instead of 1, 2, 3, you have to substitute M is equal to A, B, C. Okay. A, B, C you have to consider in place of M, right? Ki. So these are the potential difference between the conductors K and I in a group of conductors. Now here in this derivation, you have to consider conductors A and B. So that means K is A and I is B. So that means here in place of I, you will get B. In place of K, you will get A. Okay. You remember this notation. So now in the first section, you write the potential difference expression, right? So this will be from the general equation. You can write it as 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught, 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught into first M is equal to A you have to consider. Okay, M is equal to A if you substitute. So then this QM will become UA ln D I place in place of I B. So dBA. So dBA. So dBA by dAA you will get. Okay. So dBA. So dBA by dAA you will get. Right. So dBA is nothing but distance between the conductors A and B in section 1. Right. Now, if you go to the previous slide, right? If you go to the previous slide, in the first section, your distance between the conductors A and B is represented with this distance, so which is D12. Okay, so D12 is the distance between A and B, and BC is D23 and CA is D31, right? We use those. Okay. So dBA is nothing but D12 in that diagram. Okay, and DAA is the self distance. So in capacitance calculation, the self distance will be considered as the radius of that particular conductor. Okay, so radius of the conductor is R, right? So when you take M is equal to A, the expression will be QA ln D12 by R you will get, plus as we are having summation, plus the next you have to consider M is equal to D, right? So when you consider M is equal to D, then this term can be written as QB ln DBB by DAB, dBB. So dBB by dAB you will get. So for the second for the when you substitute m is equal to b in this expression, then you will get this term, this ratio term as dBB by dAB. So dBB again self distance. So self distance is represented with r. So here you will get the r by the dAB, distance between A and B is d12. Okay, from that diagram in the first section. So plus next in place of m you have to consider again conductor C. Okay, when you substitute C in place of m, QC by ln dBC by dAC you will get. Okay, dBC by dAC you will get. Right, in the first section your conductors are like this. In first section, first here we are having A, here we are having B, here we are having C. So positions are 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now dBC distance, BC distance is nothing but this distance. So which is D23, right? So D23 by DAC distance is D13 or D31 can write, right? So like this, you can write the voltage or potential difference expression between the phases A and B in first section. So this is the final expression. Similarly, you have to write the potential difference expression in a second section as well as third section also, right? If you write for second section, then 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught QA ln D23 by R plus QB ln R by D23 plus QC ln D31 by D12 you will get. Okay, so for the third section, if you write 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught Q D31 by R plus QB ln R D31 plus QC ln D12 by D23. Okay, so however you got this first expression, in the similar manner you will get the second and third expressions also. Okay, simply you have to consider this transposition cycle only one. Okay, so this transposition cycle you have to consider, and the positions you have to consider. Just in place of distances will change. Here you are having A, B, C. In the first section, distance between A and B is D12. So in the second section, this is A. In the middle, the conductor is A, below conductor is B, and the above one is C. In third section, it is A, so then it is B, and it is C. Right? So in place of A, B, D12 you will get for the first section. So for the second section, it will be D23. For the third section, it is D31. Right? So those notations only will change here. Remaining all things will be the same. Okay, I think you can derive these two. Okay, right now you got the potential difference expression between the conductors A and B, section 2 and section 3 of transposition cycles. Okay, so now now you have to write the total potential difference or equivalent potential difference between the conductors A and B for complete transposition cycle. Right? This, or you can say that the average value of potential difference between the phases A and B is VAB is equal to average, in the sense you have to sum all the three divided by 3. Right? VAB in first section, VAB in second section, VAB in third section, all the sum by 3. Okay, right? That means you are summing all these three equations, right? Now three terms you are having 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught as common, you take it outside. So then if you take QA as common, so if you take QA in all terms as common, what will get here? Ln D12 by R, ln D23 by R, ln D31 by R. You are having these three terms. Okay, all are summations. You are summing all these, right? So in such a case, this can be written log A plus log B plus log C. Log A plus log B plus log C can be written as log ABC. So that means log D12, D12, D23 and D31 by R cubed you will get. Okay. So now this can be again written as D12, D23, D31 whole to the power of 1 by 3. Right. Is whole to the power of 1 by 3. So whole power cubed you can write. Okay, that means this cubed, R cubed is going into this whole, and here you will get 1 by 3. Okay. Now this 3 can be written this side. So that means 3 ln 1 D12, D23, D31 whole to the power of 1 by 3 by R you will get for the first case. Okay. I will show you in the next equation. See here. When you take a QA as common, the final expression what you are getting here is log D12, D23, D31 whole to the power of 1 by 3. Right? 1 3 is getting here. So that 3 will be cancelled with this 3. Okay. You are taking the average. Average is 1 by 3 you are getting. So this 3 and this 3 will get cancelled. Okay. So then next you are having QB as common. Right? First create a over, then take QB. Right? In the similar way, you can write it as when you take QB as common, you will get R cubed by D12, D23, D31. Right? Again, that will also can be written as ln R by D12, D23, D31, right? R cube you are getting, right? So here you will get 1 whole power 1 by 3 whole to the power 3 you will get. So that 3 also it comes to here and gets cancelled with that average, and QB ln R by D12, D23, D31 you will get finally. Okay, plus QB ln R by D12, D23, D31 whole to the power 1 by 2, sorry 1 by 3 you will get. Okay. Now what about the QC? When you take QC as common, right, you are also having QC term as common. If you take QC as common, so then log A plus log B, same formula you use again. So then what you will get here is ln of D12, D23 and D31 whole divided by same. Again you will denominator also you will get the same. D12, D23, D31. So these two will get cancelled. So ln 1 you will get. So ln 1 is nothing but 0. So that is then that term will be 0. So you will be having only QA and QB terms in the average. Okay, I think it is clear to everyone. Okay, so you have to first derive the expression of potential difference in all the three sections of transposition cycle. So then you have to calculate the average value. Okay, so that average value is one of sum of all the voltages across the phases A and B in each section. The B and B 1 by 2 not QA not D12 whole to the power of 1 by 3 by R plus QB ln R by D12, D23, D31 whole to the power of 1 by 3. Okay. Right. In place of D12, D23, D31 whole to the power of 1 by 3, you can write it as B equivalent. Okay. In place of same, right? So this is B equivalent is nothing but mutual GMD answer. You can answer say that this is DM, mutual GMD. Okay. simply in place of this, in place of this, you are writing D equivalent. So VAB is equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught. Here D equivalent by R plus QB ln R by D equivalent you are getting. So where D equivalent is D1 to D2 whole to the power 1 by 2. So this is the potential difference between the conductors A and B. Okay. Similarly, if you write the potential difference expression for the between the conductors A and C, then that equation what you will get here is 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught QA ln D equivalent by R plus QC ln R by D equivalent. So from this equation, you can write the equation. Only in place of B here, you will get C. Okay. So this is VAB and this is VAC. Right. After finding VAB and VAC, you have to sum both two. Okay. You have to sum these two equations. So VAB plus VBC, if you sum these two equations, what you get finally is 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught is common in both the equations. Again, QA is here common. So when you take QA as common, ln D equivalent by R into ln D equivalent by R. Okay. When you take QA as common, ln, so D equivalent by R into D equivalent by R. So this will be whole square you will get. So that whole square you can bring it here. So here you can get 2QA ln D equivalent by R. Okay. Plus you are having QB and QC. QB ln R by D equivalent, QC ln R by D equivalent. In both the two terms, you are having ln R by D equivalent as common. Okay. So when you take the common both, then you will get QB plus QC. Okay. It's okay now. So here you are having 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught. Right. So you are summing these two VAB plus VAC you are doing. That means these two equations we are taking the sum. Okay, in both the terms, both the equations, 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught is common, so we are taking it outside. So then in these two terms, QA is common and we are having ln D equivalent R, ln D equivalent R. So both directly you can write it, right? These two terms are the same. So 2 times of QA ln D equivalent by R you can also write that, right? Plus in these two terms, you are having ln R by D equivalent as common. So then you will get QB plus QC. Okay. So for a balanced system, we can say that QA plus QB plus QC is equal to 0. Okay. And then this equation for a balanced system. So QB plus QC is equal can be written as minus QA. Okay. So in place of this, you can write minus QA. Okay. So then what you will get finally? So it will go. So in place of this, so you can write it as a minus QA. So minus QA you can write. Okay. So now if you eliminate this minus, suppose if you eliminate this minus, so then this term can be written as ln D equivalent by R, right? This minus if you bring this side, so instead of this, it is going inside the logarithmic term. So then what you can write ln D equivalent by R. Okay. So this minus is going inside the logarithmic term. So that means whole to the power of minus 1 you will get, right? Whole to the power of minus 1 in the sense reverse of this expression, D equivalent by R you will get. So that means final term will be plus QA ln D equivalent by R, right? So here you are having 2 QA and here you are having QA ln D equivalent by ln D equivalent by R. So the final expression will be 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught, 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught 3 QA ln B equivalent by R you will get. Okay, I think it is clear. Okay, so now if you sum these two voltage expressions VAB plus VEC, the final expression what you will get here is 3 QA by 2 pi D equivalent by R. Okay, as I said before, we are having a balanced three-phase system, right? which are arranged in a asymmetrical manner. Okay. Now, if you write the vector diagram for phasor voltages, you can represent in this diagram, right? So here you are having A, so this is B and this is C. So voltage between A and B, this is VAB, and B and C is VBC, and C and A is VCA. These are the line voltages. Now, if you consider a neutral point, which is at the middle of this triangle, then from A to N it is VAN, and C to N it is VCN, B to N it is VBN. So VAN, VBN and VCN are the phase voltages. Okay. So now if you take this vector diagram, so then you can say that VAB is VAN minus VBN. Okay. So from this, so here arrow mark symbols will be like this. Okay. When from the vector diagram, VAB can be written as VAN minus VBN. In similar way, VAC can be written as VAN minus VCN. Okay. So now, as the system is balanced, the VAN it can be written as VAN is equal to VAN at an angle 0 degrees. This is the reference. And VBN can be written as same magnitude VAN and angle is minus 120 degrees. For VCN, VAN at an angle minus 240 degrees. So these are, these things are known to you from the circuit theory. Okay. So now if you substitute, if you sum these two VAB plus VBC and you substitute all these three, so you will get 3 VAN. So that means in place of VAB plus VAC, you can write 3 VAN. So in this expression, in place of VAB plus VAC, you can write 3 VAN. So 3 VAN is equal to 3 QA by 2 pi epsilon naught ln B equivalent by R. So here 3 will get cancelled. Then the final expression of voltage. Now the voltage is between conductor A and neutral. That means this is the phase voltage. Okay. So phase voltage from conductor A to neutral is VAN is equal to QA by 2 pi epsilon naught ln B equivalent by R. Okay. Once after calculating the voltage or potential difference expression, you can calculate the capacitance. Capacitance is equal to Q by A. So Q by V. Okay. So the capacitance equation is Q by V. Right. So from this expression, you can write QA by VAN. So then you will get 2 pi epsilon naught by ln B equivalent by R. Okay. That is the capacitance value. Okay. So from this expression, VAN is equal to QA by 2 pi epsilon naught ln B equivalent by R. So you can write the capacitance equation. So the capacitance is the CAN. CAN is equal to QA by VAN. So that value is 2 pi epsilon naught by ln B equivalent by R you will get. So which is in farad per meter. Now if you convert this ln term to logarithmic term, so then and substituting the epsilon naught value as 8.85 into 10 power minus 12 farad per meter. Finally, what you will get here is CAN is equal to 0.0242 by log. So log means here base is 10. So log B equivalent by R in microfarad per kilometer you will get. Okay. So now you can use any one of these equations to calculate the capacitance between conductor A and neutral here, right? As the voltage considered here is the phase voltage, so the capacitance also between that particular conductor A and neutral only. Okay, so the capacitance per phase will get per phase to neutral for a transmission line is CAN is equal to 2 pi epsilon naught by ln D equivalent by R farad per meter. So you can use this equation, or you can use this equation which is represented in terms of microfarad per kilometer. So which is equal to 0.0242 by ln D equivalent by R. Okay, right. For equilateral spacing, this D12, D23, D31 is capital D. Suppose if you want to consider the equivalent spacing, then D12, D23, D31 will become equal to D, right? So then D equivalent will become equal D. So what is D equivalent? So D equivalent is under square root of, sorry, so D12, D23, D23, D31 whole to the power of 1 by 3. Okay, so now when you consider equilateral spacing between the conductors, so then all this D12, D23 and D31 will become equal, so which is capital D. So then if you substitute in this formula, so then you will get D equivalent is equal to D. So in this capacitance equation, in place of D equivalent, you simply substitute D. So for equilateral spacing, CAN value is equal to 0.0242 by log D by R microfarad per kilometer. So for this equilateral spacing, we were already explained in the previous lecture. Okay. So but from this equation also you can write the final equation for equilateral spacing. Right. After finding the capacitance, line charging current can be represented with the same formula J omega CAN ln VLN. Right. So that means this is phase voltage you have to consider. Okay. Phase voltage and phase capacitance also. Capacitance per phase to neutral. Similarly, voltage also per phase value you have to consider. Okay. So these are in amperes per phase per kilometer. Okay. So till now, if you are having any doubt, you ask me. In the derivation, I think everyone is clear with the derivation. Now let us go for capacitance of bundled conductors. Okay. Now once if you check the capacitance equation, so this capacitance equation per phase to neutral will be this expression for equilateral spacing and this expression for unsymmetrical spacing, and D equivalent is D12, D23, D31 whole to the power of 1 by 3. You know that. Okay. So this D equivalent can also be written as DM, and this can be written as DS, self GMD or mutual GMD. Right, as like in our inductance equation, here also logarithm is always dm by ds. So dm by ds. So that means suppose for this derivation we were considered a three-phase line. So three-phase line which is having only one conductor per phase. Okay, only one conductor. So now this can be this we can say that single circuit line also. Okay. And suppose if there are two conductors, suppose if there are any bundled conductors, so then each conductor will be having two subconductors, right? If it is a bundled conductor, there may be three also, or there may be four also. So there is a bundled conductor. So then you have to use the self GMD method, self GMD and mutual GMD method. That means D equivalent will become equal to DM, and this R denominator term will become DS. Right? How to calculate this DS and DM will be same way similar to inductance calculation only. Okay. in inductance calculation, how you are calculated dm and ds, the same procedure you have to calculate use here, right? So only ds is equal to r dash. So when there is a single conductor, so here you will get r dash in inductance case, but for capacitance case, this is only r. So r dash is nothing but 0.7788 times r. So but in case of capacitance calculations, ds is r only. Okay. So this same expression can be written as dm by ds. Okay. So this dm here is cube root of d12, d23, d31, and ds here is r. Why? Because you are having only one conductor in each phase. Okay, only one single solid conductor is considered here. Right? Suppose if these phase conductors are bundled conductor, so in how you can calculate the ds value? So it is similar to the inductance case only. We will see that. Okay. Now here in each phase, suppose if there are two conductors, so that means you are using a three-phase line with a bundled conductors. So each phase is having two conductors, and the distance between these two conductors, let us assume it as capital D, sorry, small d. Okay, D is the bundled spacing. Then for two conductor configuration, what is this ds? So dm will be the same only. So dm will be the same, which is equal to d equivalent, which is equal to cube root of d12, d23, d31. So that will be the same. Only self GMD will change. Okay. For ds is equal to r for only single conductor. Now here you are using bundled conductor with two subconductors in each phase. Right. In such a case, how you can determine this self GMD? Right. Self in the sense you have to consider one single conductor. So this is entire one is only one single conductor, right? But each single conductor or single phase is having two subconductors. So this is one subconductor, this is another subconductor. So another phase is also having the same two, right? So this become the conductor phase B conductor, bundled conductor, which is having two subconductors. Similarly, you are having two other subconductor in phase C also. Okay, so you are considering phase A, which is having two subconductors, and the distance between these two subconductors is small d. Okay, let us call these as subconductors as 1, and this will be the 2, right? So then how you can calculate ds? So as this how you can calculate it for inductance, the same procedure you have to follow. You have to write the products by considering one single phase. Okay, first you have to consider a subconductor 1. Okay, when you consider subconductor 1, the product term is d11, self distance, and distance from 1 to other conductor. Other conductor is there is only one, so d12. So this is one product into. Then you have to consider the subconductor 2, so d22, and that 2 to other conductor distance 21, d21. So whole to the power of 1 by n square. When it is self GMD, it is n square, total number of subconductors whole square. So that means 2 square you will get. Here you are having two subconductors. So 2 square in the sense this will be 4. Okay. So now if you see d11, d22, these are the self distances. So this value is r. In case of capacitance, you have to consider self distances are r only. In case of inductance, it is r dash. That is the only difference. Okay, entire thing is similar. So right, in case of inductance, here you will get r dash, d11, d22. Self distances will be r dash, which is equal to 0.7788 times r. So, but in case of capacitance, you have to consider the radius, complete radius, r only. Right. So d11, d22 will be r, and d12 is the distance between 1 and 2 conductor, which is small d. d12 or d21 both are d only. So rd whole square you will get. So rd whole square whole to the power of 1 by 2 will be rd whole to the power of 1 by 2. Okay, this is how you can determine the self GMD for bundle conductor which is having two subconductors per phase. Okay. In a similar manner, you can consider the three bundle conductors. Okay. So when you consider a bundle conductor which is having three subconductors, so then that means each phase will be having three conductors. So the subconductors will be 1, 2, 3. Let us call. So then again self GMD again you write it, right? Now here you have to consider each single subconductor at a time. You have to write the products. Now if you consider the first one, D11, D12, D13, one product multiplied by D21, D22, D23, another product, and another, if you consider third conductor, D31, D32, D33. Okay, whole to the power of 1 by total number of subconductors whole square. That means here you are having 3 subconductors. So 3 square is 9. Okay, whole to the power of 1 by 9 you will get. Okay. Now again D11, D22 and D33 self distances will be always, you have considered it as R in case of capacitance calculations. Okay. And other distances are small d. So this will be RD square. This is also RD square. This is also RD square. So that means RD square whole to the power of 1 by 3 you will get. So 3 times it will 9 will get cancelled. So RD square whole to the power of 1 by 3 you will get. Okay. So this is for the bundle conductor which is having 3 subconductors for each phase. Suppose if you are having 4. So in a similar manner, how we calculated, you have to calculate that. But the only difference is that this distance is you have to consider. Suppose if these are 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 conductors. This 4 2 will be, so this will be underscore it, d square plus d square. D square plus d square. This will become equal to 2 root 2 d will get. Okay, that distance only will get different. Remaining all distances are small d. Right? You write the product. First you consider 1, D11, D12, 13, 14, one product. Then if you consider second subconductor D21, D22, D23, D24. Right? And then 3 is considered 3, D31, D32, D33, D34. Right? Then 4, D41, 42, 43, 44. And self distances are represented with R. Okay. Other distances are 3 distances you will get. 2 distances you will get D. Another will be root 2D. Okay. So root 2 D cubed. Okay. Root 2 D cubed and 1 R self distance. Okay. Whole to the power of 1 by birth and whole to the power of 1 by 4 squares is 16. That 4 and 4 will get cancelled. So the final equation what we get here is root 2 R D cubed whole to the power 1 by 4 will get. Okay. For this you do yourself, no problem. Okay. After getting self distance, you can write the capacitance equation. Capacitance per phase will be given with the same expression what we were calculated previously, which is 0.0242 by log D equivalent, or you can say that dm. Here dm also you can write dm by ds value. Okay. So this dm is nothing but cubed root of D12, D23, D23 and D31. That's it. Okay. Right. This is how we can calculate the capacitance for a bundled conductor. Okay. So bundled conductor is nothing but in each single phase you may be having 2 or more conductors, 2 or more subconductors. Okay. Is almost a time up. So we will discuss the capacitance of three-phase double circuit lines in the next lecture. And also we do the problems. And we're also having one final topic. So when you consider the effect of earth, then how will be the capacitance value? Okay, that is also we have to discuss within two classes. We will conclude the first unit. Okay, so if there are any doubts, you can ask me. So still 2 more minutes are there. Somebody is saying login below EPTS topic order. So what topic it is now? You are not getting now.